Okay, study guide part 2. Let's look at number 25. My family is going on a biking trip, and we want to bike 72 1/2 miles away from our house. We only want to travel 18 1/8 miles each day. How many days will it take us to make the trip? First of all, how are we solving this? What are we doing?
Dividing.
Dividing, okay? So you're taking your total number, and you are splitting it up into how much they're dividing each day, okay? So again, you'll have the use of your calculator. So 72 1/2 divided by 18 1/8, and that gives us 4. So yes, 4 days. All right, Jasmine has 5 5/6 dozen cookies. If 2 1/3 dozen cookies will fit in each box, how many boxes can she fill? So again, what kind of problem is this?
This is dividing.
Dividing, okay? So we take what she has, 5 5/6, and we're splitting it into boxes that will hold 2 1/3. So we have 5 5/6 divided by 2 1/3. Now, that gives us 2 1/2. So it says how many boxes can she fill? So what would our answer actually be? 2. Because she would have a half of a box left over. So she can completely fill 2 boxes.
Well, can't she just put half of each one box?
Yeah, you could say 2 1/2 boxes. Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. Are you trashing me?
Yeah, you could say 2 1/2 boxes. Okay, number 27. Kevin makes 7 out of every 10 free throws. Jolene makes 9 out of every 12. Who has the best free throw average? Now, 2 different ways we could work this, and this is what I want to show you. Okay, we have a ratio of 7 to 10, and we have a ratio of 9 to 12. Is there a way that I could make these where they have the same denominator to compare the numerators? 10 and 120, or 10 and 12.
12 times 5.
Say it again. 60. So if I made these both equal to over 60, what did I multiply 10 by to get 60? 6 times 7 is 42. 12 times what?
5.
Okay, so 5 times 9 is 45. So what this means is that out of every 60 free throws, Kevin made 42. Out of every 60 free throws, Jolene made 45. So who had the better free throw average?
Jolene.
Okay? Another way we can do this, if we have 7 out of 10, okay, we can divide that and make it into a percentage. 7 divided by 10, that gives me 0.7. How do I change a decimal to a percent?
You move it 2 times to the right.
Right. So move it twice to the right. So what percentage? 70%. Okay? Now I can do 9 out of 12. And again, divide 9 divided by 12. What percentage is that?
75.
Okay? So again, Jolene has the better free throw average. Okay? 3 equivalent ratios for 3 to 4. What could we say?
6 to 8.
6 to 8.
And then 9 to 12.
Say it again. 9 to 12. Say it again. 24 to 32. Yeah. Any of those. 45 to 60. Yes, that would work. 30 to 40. Yeah. Any of those would work. Okay. Did you say 12 to 16? Yes. Okay, number 29. What is 20% of 100? First of all, I want you looking at this and not having to use your calculator. Guys, a percentage out of 100 is always that percentage. But even if you had to, 20% out of 100 would be 20. Percentage, remember that means out of 100. So if I have 20% of 100, it's going to be 20. Color the bar diagram with your answer. There are 10 squares. the total equals what percentage? 100. So if I take 100 and divide it by 10, what does each block represent? 10. So if we want 20%, we will shade in 2 squares. Okay, and the area model with our answer, it's a 10 by 10 grid. So we're going to color in 20 squares. And that's it. Any questions so far? Through number 29. Okay, let's look at 30. The sum, excuse me, of two numbers is 200. And the two numbers are in a 4 to 6 ratio. Find the two numbers. We start with a 4 to 6 ratio. Okay? The sum of these two numbers would be what?
2 and 3.
Sum of these two numbers would be what? 10. Okay? I'm going to ask myself, how many times will this group of 4 to 6 go into 200? Because the total would be 10. 20 times. So I want 20 groups of this number, of that ratio. So I'm going to do 20 times 4 and 20 times 6, and my new ratio would be 80 to 120. Okay? If we have 4 to 6, let's say this is 4 circles and 6 squares. I'm just giving them a name. So how many total shapes do I have? 10. Okay? But I need a total of 200 right here. I need 200 shapes. But I want them to keep this ratio. So if I add this together and get 10, this total's 10, 10 will go into that 200 20 times. So I need 20 groups just like this. So I'm going to do 20 times 4 circles, 20 times 6 squares. And that gives me 80 circles and 120 squares. Okay, number 31. 17% is a decimal. What is it, guys? Say it again. 0.17. If you just 0.17, that's fine. All right, this one we got to be careful with. What about 3%?
0.03.
0.3. It's not 0.3. That would be 30%.
Wait, can you not have 0?
0.03? That's right. Yeah. Say it again. Somebody had a question?
What? Can you not have a 0 before?
Yeah, you can. Absolutely. I just didn't because of the space. Okay. Convert 2/10 to a percentage. If we have 0.2, we're going to move it 2 places to the right. So this becomes what percent? 20%. If I move that 2 places to the right, 45%. If you think about this, the letter D comes before the letter P in the alphabet, right? If I'm moving from decimal to percent, I'm moving to the right. If I'm moving percent to decimal, I'm moving backwards. Does that help? Okay, number 32 is very similar to number 30. If the ratio of purple to black flowers is 4 to 8, okay? So here's my purple flowers. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, okay? And my black flowers, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So there's my ratio of 4 to 8. How many total flowers do I have? How many total flowers do I have in this ratio? 12, okay? I need enough of these groups to go into 108. So how many groups can I get out of 108? 9, okay? Because 12 times 9 equals 108. So that means I need 9 groups of this and 9 groups of this. So that would be 36 purple flowers. And how many black?
72.
72. And if I add 72 and 36, I get the 108. Question about that one? Okay. Number 33. Number 33. Ashley spent 20 minutes typing a 3,000-word essay. What is her speed in words per minute? So again, we're looking for the unit rate. Okay? So we take 3,000 words, and we're going to divide that by 20 minutes. So, handy dandy calculator. 3,000 divided by 20, and that would give us 150 words per minute. All right, starting with number 34. Hopefully you used your calculator. Again, if you have a mixed number, we're using that fraction button in between your whole number and your fraction. So 8 1/5 times 3 2/3, and that would give us 30 1/15. Is that what you guys got? Okay. Okay, number 35, 9 times 4 1/6. 37 1/2?
Yes.
Okay. 12 1/2 divided by 4. 3 1/8. Okay, number 37, 6 divided by 1 1/2 would give us 4. Any questions so far? We good? Okay. 2 1/9. Oops, I just did the wrong number. Just clear that out. 1/9 times 5 1/7. 10 6/7. 39, 5. Let's look at this one. Do I even need to do this one in the calculator? 5 divided by 2 1/2. What is that? How many times will 2 1/2 go into 5? 2 times. Okay? But if you did it in your calculator, 5 divided by 2 1/2, that would give you 2. And the last one, 12 times 7/9. That gives me 9 1/3. Okay, any questions from this page? Again, your test is 25 questions, multiple choice, all the way back to multiplying and dividing fractions. Yes?